Well, I want to introduce you to my little friend that I got on holiday. I've got a huge big zit on my neck. Actually, it's much more than a zit. It's a big blocked pore. It's a big, huge spot that isn't moving anywhere quick enough as far as I'm concerned. And I've pretty much suffered all my life, actually, with bad skin up until I had my babies. That was a hormonal imbalance inherited by my dad. So thanks, Dad. I don't often get them on my face and neck. I've got very blocked skin in general, but I don't often get big ones like this. So I just thought I'd share with you how I would cover it up, even if I do cover it up, because actually half the time I can't be asked. And in fact, the other day, someone said to me, "Oh, have you got a spot on your neck?" And I was like, "God, no, it's a mosquito bite." And I was like, my head, why are you doing that? Why are you not just saying you have got a spot? Own your spot, Caroline. Who cares? Anyway, so if I'm working on a client or I've got to look half decent or I'm filming or, you know, I want to try and pretend to be fabulous and gorgeous and perfect, this is how I would cover it. So firstly, I would use a product by Eve Lom. Now this is called Dynaspot. Now this product contains a bit of salicylic acid, which is great for healing spots, unblocking the pores. But it's a good base for makeup. Now, even though once I've covered this spot, you will still see it slightly because it's raised. And if it's raised, you'll always have a slight shadow, so the skin won't be smooth. So unfortunately, you can only cover the colour. You can't cover the lump, but that's better than nothing as far as I'm concerned. Now, the reason I love this Dynaspot is because it's coloured. Now, it goes on white. It's almost like a soft white pink, but it neutralises the redness in the skin. And if you're dealing with a lot of blemishes right across your face here and on your chin, and you use this product over the top, it just calms down the inflammation. It calms everything down, so you have to use less product in the end, which is great. So I've used this for years, and it works really, really well. It's, you know, sort of quite comforting, nice base, and it also creates a really nice canvas for your concealers to grip on and last a long time. So I've covered spots on myself for many, many years, so I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. So the next product I'm going to use is by Cover FX, and these are called Custom Cover Drops. Now you can mix this base, or these custom cover drops, with the serum. You can add it to your moisturiser to make it heavier. You mix the pigments with whatever formula you want to create your own bespoke foundation. But I'm just going to use the pigments alone because it just gives me a little bit of extra coverage. I'm just going to put those on my hand here. And it contains a fat called lecium, and it really helps. The lecium is covered in the pigments, and it helps the pigments blend into the skin naturally. Now I'm going to layer it over quite thickly, and you see that it's quite light. That's totally fine. I'm going to take a beauty blender and just push, 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 and then just kind of push the foundation or the custom cover drops around the area, so it's not just on there. Sorry, my neighbours are building and throwing rubble around. And so it sits beautifully there. So that covers that, and that's so dense, that pigment, that it's not going to budge. Once it dries, it really stays put. And I've done it, as you can see, slightly a shade lighter than my skin tone is now. Now I'm going to go in with, you can see how well loved this is. This is MAC Studio Fix, and this is the Studio Fix foundation and powder in one. I'm going to use a very, very dense brush. It's a powder and a foundation in one. Sorry if I didn't clarify that clearly. So it's really dense and it's really opaque, and it's brilliant for covering. So I've gone up a slight shade. This is C4, and I'm using a really, really dense brush. Really push the product into there and push. Don't use a brush that's sort of slightly soft and isn't firm. You need a brush that's really, really dense, so it holds all the powder in place and you can push it over the top. Good. Now I'm going to go back with my smaller brush and just go right over the top. I'm sorry, I'm speaking like this over my throat. Right over the top. Right over the top. Oops. And then dab with my finger. Perfect. So it's really dense just over that spot. Then I take a lovely clean brush and I just dance that over the edges of the product so that you almost get the intensity of the coverage over the spot, and then very, very gently it migrates out. So you don't really see where the coverage starts or where it stops. Chuck your hair over it. Who would know I had a mosquito bite on my neck?